everybody. My name is Jamie, and I'll be filling in for our normal host, T and Brian this week for Faithful Talk. I appreciate you guys coming in and joining me. I'm going to run the intro video real quick for Faithful Talk, and I'm going to go over all the social media stuff, and then we'll get started. All right.
Now, 8 seconds to go. Third down. They only have time for two plays no matter what. So Rice goes out to the left. And if you want to take one crack, maybe he's the guy you should go for. Young almost falls down. Throws to the end zone.
Well, like I said, my name is Jamie. Thank you guys for joining me this lovely Monday afternoon. So we first, before we get it started, I'm going to go over all of our housekeeping stuff for all of our social media stuff. So please, sorry, ignore the printer in the background. Please follow the website, 905radio.com. That's where you'll find all of our awesome blogs. Our new writer, Dylan, has been doing a really awesome job of all that stuff. So please go give some of our new blogs a read. Some really excellent work over there. There's some really great content up on the website. So yeah, go check around and see what's going on over there. It's really awesome. Second of all, we do have a shop. We have NinerFIFARadio.com/shop. That is where you can find our affiliated merch and our own personal custom merch. We are having a pre-sale coming out at the end of July, I think July 30th to be exact. So please keep an eye out for that. And if you buy from our site, it's still legit 49er gear. It helps support our show, and it's the same stuff that we get at like a normal NFL pro shop or whatever. So yeah, definitely go check that out too. See, we have some awesome designs up there and affiliated stuff. So go check that out. Now next for our social medias. If you're watching this live, we are on Twitch, 905 Radio, spelled all the way out for Twitch. We have recently moved over to Twitch over the last couple months. So that it has been a really awesome journey so far. So please feel free to give us a subscribe. If you have Amazon Prime, you get a free sub each month if you connect your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. Please feel free to use it on us. It still does help out the show tremendously, and it's a great way for you guys to help support the show and help keep us running. But if you also feel free to pay for the normal subscription, feel free to do that too. But at least give us a follow so you guys can stay up to date on when we post all of our content up here on Twitch. So that is awesome. YouTube, we are still posting stuff over on the YouTube channel. Normally, our normal videos, we still posting a lot of stuff over there. So please go give that a check out too. 905 Radio over on YouTube. So that is really, really awesome. Next for Twitter, we are at 905R on Twitter. Twitter is a great way to when our show schedules are and all of that fun stuff. So please give that a check. The social media is a great way to keep up with what we're doing. Jason is our social media manager. He does a lot of the content stuff. He does an incredible job getting everything posted. So yeah, please go give that a follow. And we are also on Facebook and Instagram at 905 Radio. It's also a great way to keep up with everything. We do post some stuff over there as well, and Jason posts awesome memes. So yeah, please definitely go give that a check. All right, so I believe that is it for all the social media stuff. So, the normal co-host Brian, he might pop in later if he gets a chance, if he shows up, but if not, it's just gonna be me. So we are gonna go over the 10. I picked up 10 most important Niners. So this is an interesting topic, in a sense where I feel like there could be a little bit of discussion and debate about maybe not the top 3, who you would think of when you think of 49ers, but maybe further down the list, there could be some room for some arguments for people. I, uh, it's very interesting. I don't, I do have a list. It might be a little controversial. So a little bit of backstory. My family has always been big 49ers fans, but I never really got into like full-fledged watching football until 2012 when I graduated high school. That's when I really got into it, and that was kind of the 49ers kind of comeback time right around there. That's when I started watching like a lot. Watched that the playoff run with Cap go and destroying Green Bay and running all over Green Bay and all that stuff. So that has kind of been that's kind of where I really fully fledged started watching games like a lot. Just for my own enjoyment and playing fantasy football with my dad and stuff like that. So that is kind of mine. So I'm not going to have as many probably older players on this list as maybe some other people would want, just because of what eras I've watched. I'm I was I was born in 1994, so I unfortunately did not get to see the glory that was the 49ers in the 80s and see them dominate and do as well, and get to see all of those legacy players play in their prime and stuff. So that is kind of my little bit of my backstory, and that's why there might not be as many older players on here. Yeah, I was kind of thinking about it and trying to figure out what I wanted to do specifically. So, uh, yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to say before I started going into my list. I think I'll go backwards. Probably be a little bit easier. So I think what I'll do, I'm debating if I want to switch out who I have as 10. I think I'm going to. Um, yeah, I'm going to. So first, I'm going to do some honorable mentions. A couple of honorable mentions on before I get into my full list. So I put honorable mentions. I put NaVorro Bowman, Patrick Willis. But see, they should be on the list though. That's the thing. That's the crazy thing. They're still really good. Man, maybe I'll put NaVorro and Willis as 10. They'll split that slot. I think that's what I'll do. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So I'll move somebody else. Kittle, I'm gonna put as honorable mentions. I know he hasn't played as long as some of these other guys, but just kind of the persona he has become since he's been drafted and how well he's done. I do think down the line he's going to be one of the top Niners like in his era and stuff like that. So I do want to put him kind of in that weird like honorable mention, not have enough experience like time played yet to really be considered. So yeah, I'll put that there. So 10, I'm like I said, NaVorro and Patrick Willis. One of the best and ultimate linebacking duos in the league right now. I know there's a lot of talk about Fred Warner, and Fred Warner's amazing. I'd still kind of put him in that weird NaVorro Bowman, stuff. So, not sorry, I'm kind of all over the place. I would put I still consider Fred like in the same boat as Kittle. He hasn't played as long yet, and even though he's really good, we just kind of got to see how his career pans out a little bit more. But yeah, Just how good they were, Navarro and Willis, when they played back in the day. They were just so good together, and how awesome they were. Just as a duo, they were really good. They were good at covering everything. They were good at stopping the run a little bit. Like, they were all over the field. And I know Willis didn't get to play as long as everybody wanted to. He only played a very short amount of time, but when he played, he was amazing. And Navarro was just really good too. They're both really smart. New football. So like they're like I still there's still some of those players that I love to see on like I still think they're incredible, and it was amazing that we got to have them for the time that we did when they were playing. And I do think they were really, really just incredible players. Yeah. Colin, for number 9, I put Colin Kaepernick. Now he's not going to be known as probably the best 49er ever, but he had a huge, huge impact. And hold on, I do think I have a message from. Sorry. One second, guys. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I put Colin Kaepernick just because of how incredible, like how much he, like when he came in, he just electrified everything. Coming over, taking over for Alex after he got hurt. I just think he was awesome about it, and he was just really good. He was really fun to watch. He exploded when he was on the field with his running ability, how good his arm was, and stuff like that. And he was just incredible to watch. And I thought he was just awesome. And while he was a little bit while he was known for his run ability a lot, he was still just a really good player. And what's happened with him since then is just craziness. So hold on one second. Okay, so sorry about that, guys. Brian is popping on in just a second. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run a couple of ad breaks here while he gets on, and then I will come back. So, and we'll probably just refresh, but we'll just keep it going. So I apologize for all this, but I will see you guys in a little bit. Okay, guys, while we wait for Brian to come on and share his thoughts on what he thinks he should be popping on, I'm going to probably just send him a link real quick. Here we go. sorry about this, guys. There we had some last minute stuff pop up, so that's part of the problem. So yeah, but this way you guys get to hear his opinion as well, which I think will be good, and we'll have some better back and forth than just me listing off my list. So yeah, that's kind of my perspective. I'm gonna have some more current players probably than what people are expecting, and whatnot. So see if he's able to hop on. But yeah, but anyway, what I was saying about Colin, I just think he was really good. He was just a really good football player. He was a lot of fun to watch, and he really rejuvenated. He was in that time where the 49ers were getting rejuvenated and re-energized about certain things. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. And yeah, I still remember that run with him and all those games, the playoff games, the heartbreak, losing to Seattle, all of that stuff. It's just craziness, all the craziness that came with everything. So let's see. Okay, we're waiting for Brian. I can't run it out of the ad break right now, though, so I would for you guys. Don't want to get too much into this. Next, I have Alex Smith. Now, I feel like Colin and Alex have kind of like go back and forth for me. Alex, oh man, his story, man. All of the stuff that he's gone through. When he finally got a competent coach after being drafted number 1 overall and having all that pressure on him to like become that, and then his win against the Saints in that playoff game, and just like doing as well as he did once he got Harbaugh and stuff, and just it working out for them and stuff. So yeah, 1 second, guys. One second. Sorry about this, guys. So sorry. Give me 1 second. Load Google. So sorry about this, guys. But yeah, if you guys have any comments about who you would choose on these lower spots, that would be incredible. And then I got to copy this again. All right. Got that taken care of. Trying to get Brian on here. Okay. But yeah, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm kind of all over the place. Thank you to the one person who is watching this. I appreciate that. But yeah, I choose Alex. It's because of everything he's been through. All the stuff he's able to do, help us get back into playoff contention, and his just toughness. He's a very tough player, very tough person. He's been through a lot over his football career, especially coming back after that horrific leg injury when he was in Washington. And just if you guys haven't seen, go check out that documentary about his leg and everything that happened to him. It's an incredible story, and stuff. So it was, yeah, it's a lot. But yeah, I feel like Alex and Colin can kind of be switched. But yeah, I really like, I still think they're obviously probably 2 of the more better modern quarterbacks that we've had in a long time. and stuff. And I didn't really unfortunately get to see Jeff Garcia or anybody like that either. Otherwise, they might be on this list. But yeah, might throw in some more honorable mentions as well. Number 7, I picked Joe Staley. Joe sticking with this team for his whole career, all the ups and downs, all the chaos, all the turnovers of coaches, getting stable with Harbaugh, losing Harbaugh, going through those really bad couple of years about Harbaugh when we had Tom Sula and Kelly, and then finally getting Kyle, almost winning, and just how great, how like lucky we were not to have to worry about the left tackle position for such a long time, despite having so many problems in other places and stuff. And it's amazing to me that we were able to have such a good player like at the left at such an important position. And like, look, when we got Trent Williams, he was obviously an upgrade over an older Joe Staley, but Joe holding down that position for so many years and how important that has been, and have him being like the center block for the O-line is just it's crazy. And I'm so glad we have Trent Williams, but I sometimes really do miss Joe. Yeah. So number 6. I'm gonna switch 5 and 6 on. I'm gonna put Terrell Owens. Being able to get such a dynamic wide receiver when we haven't had one since Jerry Rice in a while was really great. I unfortunately didn't get to watch him, but I've seen some highlights of his and he's incredible. So I put him on this list just because, like, regardless, it's great to have position at all the talents. So I felt like he needed to be on this list, and since he was part of the catch two, I think catch two or catch two, because Alex and Brennan Davis were catch 3. He's gonna pop on in just a minute. He should be. Sorry. I felt like he should be on this list, and having him be in the catch and just all that fun stuff. So I put him there. Number 5, I put Frank Gore. I don't know how much more needs to be said about how incredible Frank Gore was and stuff. And Frank Gore was just so good. So good. It's still crazy that he's had the career that he's had with his knee injuries, and just how good he's been since he's been in the league, and how solid of a player he is. It's incredible. That's why it's very hard to root against him, and the fact that he's broken all of these records and stuff too. It's crazy to me, and whatnot. So yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much what I said about Gore. And he was actually, fun fact, I don't know where it is anymore, but he was my first 49ers jersey, a Frank Gore jersey. I think I lost it during moving, unfortunately, but yeah, it's awesome. He's awesome. So I'm writing down my list, and if Brian ends up being able to pop in, hopefully he'll be able to run down his list, and then we can have some more back and forth. Is he here? He's working on it. Next, I put Dwight Clark for number 4, who obviously with the catch and everything like that, and whatnot, makes a lot of sense. So yeah, I'll come back, talk more about that. I'm gonna run a quick ad break real quick, guys, and then I'm gonna bring Brian in, and then we'll get talking. So 1 second. Okay. Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good.
Cool. Good. So do you have your list ready, and do you have any questions? I'm running a quick ad break real quick. So
So we're gonna go with the top 10, right? And then
mhm. I've run
um
over some of mine, but if you want to start when we come in, you can come in, you can run through your socials or whatever you want people to follow you on, and then we
okay.
can get going doing that
Okay,
stuff
sounds
too.
good.
Okay.
All right. Let me pull out my list right now.
All right.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry about
Yep.
that, Jamie.
It's okay. Okay. We are back live, but Brian's just finishing getting set up, getting his list open, and stuff like that. But we're going to still go over our 10 most important 49ers. I kind of took it as in like my personal top 10 and stuff. So our list might not be exactly the same. So, yeah.
Yeah, I base mine off like if you're gonna get the most value out of him or you're gonna get nothing, and
Okay.
that's gonna be that player. If he's there,
Mm-hmm.
you really have high hopes of playoff expertise, and if that player's not there, obviously it's gonna hurt the team. So
Yeah, no, that's a good way to also look at it too as well, because most of these are also going to be very, very talented players. So, yeah. Do you
correct.
want to start off with your, do you want to go from 10 up to 1, or do you want to go 1 down to 10?
I'll go 1 down to 10.
1 down to 10?
Um,
Okay, so who's your number 1?
Obviously, um, has to be the quarterback, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
when you think of franchise quarterback or franchise, you have to think of quarterback. Like it's either you have a really good one, and you know, and you're really hitting it, or you have an average quarterback in the locker room, and you know, obviously, every team hopes to have the best quarterback in the league. So
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to say Jimmy Garoppolo for my quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers. And,
No,
uh,
that's actually a good pick. I like that. I took it more in like just top 10 49ers in general, but if we're talking current, then yeah, Jimmy would probably be my number 1 too,
oh,
because
okay.
yeah, because I just since I was filling in, I just quickly read through it, and that's how I interpreted it. But no, yeah, quarterback obviously number 1, because that's gonna make or break your team and get you into the playoffs and win you games and whatnot. And um, yeah, but we know like yeah, I like that pick actually. What's your number 2?
Yeah. So I'm gonna keep going down. I interpret it as current,
Okay,
so
no, that's
I'm just
fine.
gonna continue that. Our quarterback on defense, I believe, is Fred Warner. He's that guy. He's gonna set everyone in place, and he's that guy that spends 5+ hours in the study room, learning the opponent's offense, and he's phenomenon. He's there when he needs to be, in case you know he can substitute other people as well. So um, and I think he makes the difference. He makes the 49ers defense what it is.
No, Fred Warner is incredible, and I'm so glad we were able to grab him in the 3rd round when we drafted him. Because he has really turned out to be a really, really, really good player. And I think you're 100% right. That he kind of is like the line, his position as linebacker, kind of the quarterback of the defense. So, and he has done a really great job of making sure like he gets his reads and putting in the work to make sure he can be the best that he can be. So yeah. Who's your number 3?
I sort of made mine offense, defense,
Okay.
and obviously, our second best offensive player is George Kittle, without a doubt. Um, when he's not there, it definitely shows.
Mm-hmm.
And when he's there, we have that 13-3 record. When he's healthy, plays 16 games or now 17 games.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we are we aren't the 49ers offense without George Kittle, I believe, in the run game and the pass game. So
No, yeah, no. Kittle is extremely important with how the way the offense is able to run. Like you said, he's important in the passing game and the run game because of his blocking. So it's just, yeah, if he's, it definitely hurts if he's not on the field. So, who's your next player?
um, I believe it's Nick Bosa. Just his presence there kind of has the offensive tackle. It's like, oh, I gotta cover Nick Bosa, and his double teaming leads to good numbers on the other side of the defensive line, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what gets other guys some sacks. And even with him having double teams, he still had 9 sacks in his rookie season, and he's just explosive. He uses his hands right, and he has that right equal to equal with his hands and legs into use, and it really shows on the field.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think with him being gone last season, you really felt him not being on the field with just how good of a player he is. And like when we drafted him in 2019, he just made that defensive line work. Just of him having him on one side, having Eric Armstead and at the time DeForest Buckner on the line when we first drafted him was like they were just able to wreak havoc. So yeah, he's an incredible talent. I think that's really right, and I really hope he's able to come back and still be really solid after coming back from his injury. So yeah, who's your next player?
This might shock a lot of people, but
Okay.
I know this player is gonna make an impact on the offensive line, and it's um I'm going blank right now. um, Alex Mack.
Oh, okay.
Just his veteran this year. He's gonna he was missed last year. Mike McGlinchey, he needed that Joe Staley, and he's gonna replace Joe Staley's leadership, and um, I definitely feel like he's gonna help the offensive line like even more. So
Mhm.
I'm excited to see him and see where he can place, especially if we start the rookie, the second round there.
Okay.
And
No,
yeah,
yeah, I actually like that pick because I really like Trent Williams, but I do feel like that leadership is not the same since Joe Staley retired.
yeah,
So, and I feel like Alex Mack could really be able to fill that void a little bit. And yeah, he's actually one that I'm really excited to see how he fits in this upcoming season and stuff. And I'm really excited that we were able to grab him. So, all
yeah.
right,
He's
who's
like
next?
that solo player, like by himself, he makes a difference, and like it's just I don't know. It's like I'm a star type of player, so
Yeah,
his
no, yeah,
leadership wasn't there.
yeah,
But
no.
so it's 4 now, right?
Yeah, I think so. Who's after
Okay.
Alex?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Jimmy Ward.
Okay.
Obviously, when Robert Sala was here, he used him pretty wisely.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he's that guy that you could really like leave him on one side,
Mm-hmm.
and you could depend on him. And it's just that his injuries have caused him, on and off the field.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope to see him on the field a lot of the times this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm excited for D'Amico's Ryan. How is he gonna use him?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's actually a good question because um I like what you said where I think I think now we're all aware of how talented Jimmy Ward is, and but then how just his injuries have just made it extremely difficult on his career. Um, because when he's on the field, he's really good. Um, and he's a really really solid player, and I agree. I'm excited to see how D'Amico uses him, and if he, I'm assuming he's going to use him kind of like what Robert Sala did, but then maybe there's some other new stuff in there with
Hmm.
him. But yeah, no, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
And for my next pick,
Hmm.
I'm gonna pick Kyle Juszczyk.
Okay.
You know, um, I don't think you could say that he's the part of the offense that if you had him, it won't work. The system won't work. So, um, obviously his run game um is solid. You could really depend on him picking back the outside linebacker or
Hmm.
even the DN. And um, yeah, and sometimes in the pass game as well. Even though we don't really depend on him, I just want to see him used more often because last year, we didn't really use him as much as we could.
Yeah, I actually agree with that because I feel like when we use him, it's really good and it gives the offense like the spark it needs to keep going. Like he's able to make those plays that we really need to make. Um, and you're right, we didn't really use him as much last year as we probably should have. Like, I know he's great for his blocking, and I know that's probably part of it is he was helping with blocking and making sure all that stuff was going on and picking up blitzes and whatever he needed to do. But when he's able to go out there and like do the catching or whatever he needs to do, it's great. Like I remember in the Seahawks game and at the end of 2019, he caught the 49ers offense is stalling out a little bit, but then he caught that. I think it was literally a 49-yard pass or something from Jimmy um, at
Yeah,
the end of 2019, and that kind of made sure the offense kept going. So he's able to do that kind of stuff, and yeah, it's a good pick. He's really good, and like I know people sometimes question why he gets so much money, but he does a lot to make sure everything goes smoothly. So.
yeah, and also how much people can do what he does,
Mhm.
and um, I I feel like if we use him as much as we did in 2019, we'll
Mhm.
be a better team.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree.
And this next person, I feel like he could be way higher, is because I only saw 1 year out of him, and it's
Okay.
Jason Verrett. You
Oh,
know,
okay.
um, obviously you can really depend. I mean, look how he guarded DeAndre Hopkins last season. It was
Mhm.
really remarkable watching him.
Mhm.
Is that I just need to see more of him, and I feel like he could go up the even higher on the top 10. Um, um, what's it called? And also, he's gonna be that veteran in the locker room as well. Um, we just had to see on him in the 2021 season.
Yeah, I'm really excited for him. I just hope he's able to stay healthy another year. Because I do think he's extremely talented. Because he plays well and he works in the system well. And like you said, he's going to be the veteran on the team. because a lot of our corners are going to be young now, for the most part. So, yeah, I am still really excited for him. I thought his season last year was really great, and his comeback was awesome. Yeah, I do think he has the potential to jump up more spots. I would agree with that because I do think he's really good. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And for my next offensive player,
Hmm.
um, I know a lot of people were high on Debo, but I'm
Hmm.
more of an IU guy. I feel like he has more discipline and he's
Hmm.
more into the game. But Debo's swagger is, cool and all. But
Yeah.
I love Brandon Ayuk, and I feel like he will really take a sophomore leap. And I don't think he will have that sophomore slump that Debo had.
Hmm.
And um, if we had to choose between Brandon and Debo, I would pick Brandon, in my opinion. He's more a duel,
Hmm.
um, further down the field, and it's gonna really help Trey when he takes the field, with
Hmm.
the long balls, and yeah,
That's actually that's actually a good point because I do think eventually we're going to have to choose between Debo or Brandon. Because I don't think we're going to be able to keep both of them.
mm,
Um, and they're both really good. Um, I actually agree with you. I'm more of a Brandon Ayuk guy too. Um, I like don't get me wrong, like you said, Debo is awesome. Debo has that swagger that we were desperately missing in the wide receiver room where he's not afraid to like go for contact as
mhm,
much. Um, but I don't know, there's just something about Brandon that like his agility or something that I think fits better here in San Francisco. So I'm a little bit more higher on him, and I really do hope that he doesn't have the sophomore slump. I don't think he will. Um, I just my biggest hope is that whoever our quarterback is, it's pretty consistent through the season, so he can get used to whoever's throwing him the ball because that's a huge thing. Because he had I think like 3 or 4 different quarterbacks last year, so
yeah,
um, I'm just hoping that he gets, assuming Jimmy gets the start, which I think it's going to happen at first, that Jimmy plays, and then when they switch over to Trey, that's it. Like, no injuries, nothing. We just stick with it, no back and forth stuff. So, and that they have a normal off season to practice and stuff like that, which they kind of are. So I think that's definitely a positive thing. So,
yeah. He got like 700 yards with C.J. Beathard and Nick Mullins.
hmm.
Imagine if he had Trey and Jimmy for the whole year. I
Hmm.
mean, he'll definitely take that leap, I believe.
Yeah, for sure.
The next defensive player,
Hmm.
um, we'll pick. I'm gonna pick Eric Armstead.
Oh, okay.
Um, oh, I'm sorry. I cut. I thought I lost you for there.
Uh,
But,
we're good.
um, I'm gonna pick him because I don't think he's he has to have like that big defensive player like Nick Bosa for him to contribute for this team. I don't think just for himself he
Mhm,
doesn't make that impactful player. He's not that
mhm,
impactful player. But I believe if someone else is there,
mhm,
he might get close to double digits. And you know, obviously we saw what happened when Nick Bosa or we had injuries on the defensive line.
mhm,
2 sacks is all we got from him. It's
mhm,
only 20 season, but I definitely think that he's capable more than that. That's why
mhm,
he was a high draft pick like himself. And
mhm,
the thing is that I need to see more consistency because you're
Mhm.
either gonna get that almost to double digits to like 2 sacks, 1 sack, but
Mhm.
he's more of a tackle for loss guy, and
Mhm.
he was top 20, I believe, for that, and that's where his game is really good.
Yeah, I mean, Eric Armstead's an interesting player, um, because he. I know, like when not Debo, DeForest Buckner got traded, and we kept Armstead. People were like, "Why aren't we keeping DeForest?" But I do agree. Eric Armstead is still a really good player. He's had his injury problems too. Um, and I do agree with you. He is definitely more of a tackle for loss player, run stuffer kind of player than like full on go after the quarterback sack sometimes.
Yeah,
But I do think he can contribute, and I do think that when he has more uh when he's surrounded by more talent, um so like when Bosa's on the field, when he has more people around him, that definitely helps him because he won't get his double teamed as much. Um
mhm,
but I still think he's really solid. And I definitely can see why he's on your list for sure. Yeah.
yeah, and just in case anything happens, he can also play the end and the defensive
Yeah.
tackle, and that's
That's
what I
also a
really like.
great thing too. Yeah.
And I think I'm on my last one, right? I'm not.
I believe so. Yeah.
Um. Oh, this guy should have been higher. Trent Williams.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, he should have definitely be higher. But um, is only thing that the only thing he could have been top four is his leadership is it's not there. But honestly, just that. I mean, he can do everything.
Mhm.
He's amazing, and he might have little rust on him, but that's because he didn't play the year before that, and
Mhm.
um, I feel like he's remarkable. And his age, he's getting there, but he still shows that he's fully capable of doing so.
Mhm. No. Yeah, I am glad that he is on your list. I talked a little bit earlier about him coming in for Joe Staley after Joe retired, and um I definitely think he was an upgrade in certain ways because he was a little bit younger, um, and stuff, and he was still in, well, and he had that year off. So even though he was rusty, he was more healthy
Hmm.
coming in. Um, but I do agree with the leadership thing. I don't think it's necessary. Like I just feel like it's not maybe not as natural to him for some reason, but he's still really good and and stuff. And yeah, I'd have him on my list too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Yeah. So I took my list kind of in a different direction. I talked a little bit about it at the beginning, but um, I think if I was going current, I think my list would be very, very similar to yours. Um, just based off of like position groups and stuff like that. Like I'd have Jimmy at the top, um, maybe Trent at the bottom. I don't know. He might be up a little bit more for me, but just because of how important the left tackle position is in keeping the quarterback upright and blocking their backside. But um, yeah, I think my list would look very, very similar to yours. I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're about 50 minutes in. I think we should start wrapping up a little bit now. We went over your list. Do you want to tell the viewers where you are at online or anything? Do you want to promote anything or
Uh,
whatnot?
yeah, yeah. You can follow me on Instagram on Niners.coverage, and
Okay.
yeah, that's where I post my 49ers content. So yeah.
Awesome. What kind of content do you post? Do you post like just anything, or do you have specific kind of stuff that you
Um,
post?
I just give out you know, the new headlines. When a player
Okay.
getting traded or new sign or rumors, anything specifically like on what's like happening.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Cool. 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 Yeah. So it's Niners coverage.
Yeah,
Niner
Niners
coverage.
dot coverage.
Niners coverage. Okay. Awesome. 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 So gonna go over all of Niner FIFA Radio's housekeeping stuff. So you see the ticker at the bottom. We have our website, ninerfifaradio.com. Please go check that out. We have some awesome blogs going up on the website. One of our blog writers, Dylan, has been making some really awesome content breaking down position groups. So please go give that a look. Go check that out. Have some awesome stuff over there. Um, we do have our shop, 905radio.com/shop. That is where you can find our affiliated items. And we have some of our own personal merch up there as well, I believe. We are having a pre-sale coming very soon, I think at the end of July 30th. We are having a pre-sale. So please keep an eye coming out that's going to be some awesome stuff dropping and whatnot like that. Since we are on Twitch, we are at 905 Radio on Twitch. Please feel free, if you have a Amazon Prime account, connect that to your Twitch account. You get a free sub a month. That's a great way to support the show. Feel free to use that. It's completely free in that regard. But if you feel like doing the normal way to subscribing, feel free to do that as well. But that's an awesome way to support the show. We are still posting stuff over on YouTube. We're at 905 Radio on YouTube. We still have some videos going up over there. That's also a great way to go check out some of our other content as well. And then we are on Facebook and Instagram at 905 Radio. Our guy Jason does a great job posting some memes up on Facebook, I believe. I'm not sure if he still does that, but he does an awesome job. And stuff. It's a great time. And following these social media things is a great way to keep updated with everything going on and with our schedules and stuff like that. So you can keep up with all the shows, especially since we moved over to Twitch. There's been a lot of new stuff coming out. And we're also at 905 Radio, 905 R, not 905 Radio, on Twitter. And that's also a great way to keep up with us as well. So yeah, please go keep up with all our socials. It's a great way to keep up with us. Do subscribe, hit the notification bell, do all the follows, do all the things so you can keep updated with all of us. It's a lot to keep updated with. I believe if you just go to the website, there are links to all of our socials as well. So that's also, if it's a little bit easier, just go to the website. I believe there's links down at the bottom somewhere. So yeah. Brian, I want to thank you for coming on to the show. Appreciate you taking your time to come on. We do have one quick comment from, I don't know how to say that, Retro Old Cool. He says, great podcast. I like football. Well, thank you for tuning in for our broadcast. I'm glad that you enjoyed it, and we hope to see you on another broadcast soon. So really appreciate you coming on, Brian, for taking your time. And thank you guys to all the viewers for keeping up with all the craziness that happened at the beginning of the live stream. Sorry if it was a little bit hectic, but yeah, and thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you guys next week. So I'm gonna run the out. Yeah, no problem. You can head out, Brian, if you want. Are you gonna run the closing?
Now 8 seconds to go. Third down. They only have time for 2 plays, no matter what. So Rice goes out to the left. And if you want to take one crack, maybe he's the guy you should go for.